the meeting to order. Roll call.
McCarrigan.
Here.
Scanlon.
Here.
Caldwell.
Here.
Vidlac.
Here.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
3, for public information, a copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is available for review. It's above Tom. 4, notice of changes in the agenda by the city clerk. Additions may not be made to this agenda less than 24 hours before the beginning of the meeting unless added under item 5 of this agenda. Do we have any changes?
No changes, Your Honor.
5, citizens with business not scheduled on the agenda. As required by state law, no matter may be considered under this item unless council determines that the matter requires emergency action. Do we have any emergency actions? Okay. 6, closed session. A, council reserves the right to enter into closed session if deemed necessary if the item is on the agenda as per section 84-1410 of the Nebraska Revised Statutes. 7, consent calendar. Items in the consent calendar are proposed for adoption by one action for all items unless any member of the council requests that an item be considered separately. Do we have any questions or comments on the consent calendar?
I'll move to approve the calendar.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Scanlon, second by Vidlac. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
Scanlon. Yes. McCarrigan.
Yes. 8, financial report. Council to receive the April 2024 financial report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I apologize. I do not have much of a voice tonight, so I'm going to start on page 2 of the report there and just kind of run over on the debt service was the big one this month. You see that's a negative $192,000. The big reason for that was the PID payments. That's the Frank subdivision. Is it 28th? Is that 28th Avenue? I believe is the street over there. And it's almost done. I think there's just a little retainage left on that one. And then just touching on the departments, the general fund is up $335,000 right now, and then through the big ones, the proprietary funds, environmental services is up $464,000 on the month. Wastewater is up, or on the year, sorry. Wastewater is up $264,000. Water is now positive $100,000, and then stormwater is positive $43,000. So everything is in pretty good shape. Transportation, we still have that project coming up that'll dwindle those dollar amounts down, so.
Okay. Do you have any questions on the financial report?
No.
No? Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Scanlon, second by Colwell. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Vidlac.
Yes.
Scanlon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
9, public hearings. Council to conduct a public hearing set for this date at 6 p.m. for the purpose of reviewing and obtaining comment on a redevelopment plan submitted by Bruner Bunch LLC for the Element Sports Summit redevelopment project. We'll open the public hearing.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So Bruner Bunch LLC submitted this redevelopment plan to the City of Scottsbluff. It has been reviewed by the Planning Commission and the CRA. Under this plan, the redeveloper proposes to develop the project site described in your packets. It entails a sports complex which will require the redeveloper to construct a street, curb and gutter, sidewalk and water, sanitary sewer, and storm sewer mains along the 18th Avenue right-of-way from Frontage Road to 27th Street. The project, as described in this plan, requires a significant investment to make the project economically feasible. The redeveloper is seeking approval of tax increment financing for eligible costs and expenses related to this project. On August 19, 2013, the city declared the project site as blighted and substandard. And then on March 18th of this year, after the project site was annexed to the corporate limits of the city, the city ratified its declaration that the project site is blighted and substandard and in need of development. The project site is described as lots 1, 2, and 3, Block 1, Triple Peak subdivision, and a map of the project is also located in your packets. The redeveloper will initially develop Lot 3, which will entail a sports complex with sports courts, common areas, and will be host to other activities. A preliminary site plan for the development of Lot 3 is also attached. The redeveloper may develop or sell lots 1 and 2 in the future, and we have Deidre Bruner here to answer any questions you might have on that redevelopment plan.
Do we have any comments or questions?
I'd love to hear from you if you're willing what the scope of the whole project is and kind of what your vision is for it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Yeah, the scope of the project, like she said, we're looking at 4 basketball courts, that size anyway. 2 will be permanent wooden floors. The other 2 will be more of a multi-purpose concrete floor that we can, we can put down mats for either wrestling or gymnastics, cheerleading, drill team, and all that. And then we can switch it out and do some turf for the indoor soccer. And with it being a concrete floor, it can just be used for really anything, from flea market stuff to we can bring in food trucks and have those indoors while there's, a tournament or something going on the permanent floors. They will be JUCO regulated, so, if the college wants to come in and have some sort of tournament, that'll open up some opportunities there too. So, and then along with that, we'll have a couple of areas where they can build to suit lease areas. We have some interest in that already. Also another build to suit area where we can bring in a restaurant and maybe a beverage, either a smoothie or a coffee place. So just leaves open some options because we're gonna leave it to build to suit. So yeah,
That's great.
should take up about 5 acres with parking and everything. So any other questions I can answer?
Do you have any interest in the remaining acres at this point?
Yes, there's been lots of interest.
Okay.
Trying to focus just on this project for now. Obviously, if it's gonna help, with some of the costs, we'll deal with that when we get to it, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, anything else?
Anyone else have any questions? No? Thank
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Do I need to do anything before I close it?
No, unless
Okay.
there's other comment.
All right, we'll close the public hearing. Resolution and ordinances. Council to consider and take action on a resolution to approve the redevelopment plan submitted by Bruner Bunch LLC for the Element Sports Summit redevelopment project.
Okay, so I have the standards of review to go through for you guys for the resolution. So considering the resolution regarding the redevelopment plan for Element Sports Summit, number 1, conformity with the comprehensive plan. According to the 2016 Scottsbluff Comprehensive Plan, the redeveloper's development of the project site is consistent with our current comprehensive plan, and it should be in line with our new one that we are planning on updating. The project site is zoned office and professional, OMP, which includes community centers and principal permitted use. No zoning changes are contemplated at this time. The Planning Commission and CRA reviewed the plan with respect to its conformity of the comprehensive plan and made positive recommendations. Conformity to community development law. The proposed project is in an area that the City Council has designated as blighted and substandard and in need of redevelopment. The but-for test. Because this plan proposes the use of tax increment financing, in order to approve the plan, you must determine that the plan would not be economically feasible or occur in the blighted and substandard area without the use of TIF. This requirement is addressed on page 4 of the plan. The CRA also analyzed this issue and made this finding as set forth in the resolution. And then lastly, a cost-benefit analysis must be done. The CRA adopted a cost-benefit analysis, which is in your packet, deeming the costs and benefits of the project as they relate to the economy, community, and the demand for public-private services are in the best interest of the community. get everything, Kent?
Yes, very good, thank you.
Do we have any questions for Sharia? Do we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Scanlon. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
Scanlon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes,
Caldwell.
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
thank you. Council to discuss and consider action on the micro TIF application for Martin and Jennifer Iridelis for the dugout project located at 17 East 16th Street, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, and authorize the mayor to sign the resolution.
Back again. So we have a microTIF application from Martin and Jennifer Uraldis, which we have with us this evening, and I'll bring them up later if you have any questions for them. So it's for a project that they're calling the Dugout. It's located on 17th East 16th Street. It's been vacant for 12 months, and it most recently was a tattoo shop. And they're planning on using it for some indoor recreation, featuring batting cages and a gathering area. So there's a couple of statutory requirements for our approval process for a micro TIF, and I will go through those to make sure that we meet all of them now. First, the application is for a single project. This requirement is met. The project is the repair or rehabilitation of an existing structure that has been within the city limits for at least 60 years. This requirement is also met. According to the application and the assessor's website, the building was built in 1910, actually. So this is an original town addition to Scottsbluff, which was platted in 1900, so it's been around for quite some time. The project is located in a blighted and substandard area. This requirement is also met. The project is in a county with a population of less than 100,000. This is also a met requirement. The assessed value of the property when the project is complete is estimated to be no more than 1.5 million. That is a met requirement. It will not exceed that amount. The comprehensive plan, this property is in the downtown district and central business district neighborhood. The central business district neighborhood contemplates active daytime, evening, and nighttime activities with C1 as an appropriate district. The property is zoned as C1, and the proposed development is consistent with our comprehensive plan. So it meets all of the micro TIF approval processes that our attorneys have set forth. And this is our second one, so it's exciting that we're able to hopefully get this passed, and they'll be able to use that TIF note for some of the improvements. But I have the two of them here if you want to ask them some questions about it, and I'll be here afterwards if you'd like to ask any more of me.
Sure. If you want to come forward.
All right, so what questions do you have for us? I can tell you just kind of a general overview of, so most people know these as the former Downing's Photography Building. It was 2 units, 19 and 17 East 16th. We obtained the property in October. And in February, we did have the county merge them into one single parcel because they've operated on one utilities and basically as one business for at least the last 40 years. So we thought it was necessary to get that combined. We are using one portion of the building. We'll have 2 indoor batting cages that will have an opportunity to have pitching machines, but also allow for flex space. The Bruners facility is amazing, and it's going to focus on all of the other sports that we have in our area. We don't really have any indoor batting space that's available to the general public. If you're part of certain organizations, you can get into some places, but in general, we want something that can help develop our youth, our college athletes, adults who still like to swing a bat every once in a while. That's what our focus is, and there will be space there. We plan on having a concession stands, kind of having where we're bringing the outside in, where you can come in and feel like you're at the ball field, and have a space to be able to rent, potentially for birthday parties, or just a safe space to watch the batters on the other side of the security fence. That's generally what we have planned with that. There were several code violations with electrical, plumbing, so we've ended up having to go clear down, to do a complete gut job, so, that has taken quite a bit of time, but we're now at the point where we're ready to start putting it back together. And, the micro TIF, obviously with the increased in value, we're thinking maybe, $260 or so, just as an estimate. We're putting in a lot of personal labor that may not be included in our building permit, because we focused on hard costs, but just personal work, trying to get it redeveloped. We want this building to be here for another 100 years, and that's why we're here to help, because even the little bit of rebate we can get from the property tax increase will help to bridge the gap of the costs of renovating this very old building.
That's great. So will you have like the batting cages where they can pay a fee to go in and use them?
We're gonna
Okay.
try, our main business plan is to try to do an online booking system where, if you wanna pop in on a Tuesday night, you go online, reserve your spot, and we're expecting you at that time. We will make availability for walk-ins, but for the most part, we wanna do an online booking system.
Will the two of you staff the business, or do you have a plan that way?
Great question. Martin will be the facility manager. Between the two of us, we're gonna initially help to manage. We both have full-time jobs, and this is kind of a side project for us. We do plan on having some part-time staffing once we are up and running. I work in finance, and mitigating costs is really important to us with this project. We do plan to retire someday, and so we're trying not to, throw everything at the wall. But yes, initially we will manage it, but we do plan on utilizing some of our local youth who love the sport as much as we do to be able to help run the facility for us. Yeah. Yeah. Got a lot to choose from. We also hope to utilize some of our local talent to be able to host clinics and stuff, like pitching clinics, batting clinics. Some of our star players that play on our baseball teams, softball teams. We will have the buildings are pretty long, so they'll allow for collegiate length pitching. So that will help if the college students wanted to do something like that as well.
That's great. How did you get this idea?
We both grew up playing ball. We are raising kids now who play ball. And we, kind of ran into where we're a 3-season area where there's, even 2 seasons at this point, where it's really hard when it's windy and to find a place to be able to bat. And we kept coming up short when we were looking for that. And it just kind of got delayed with the market as far as real estate, commercial real estate was concerned, and we finally just said if it's gonna be anything, it's gonna be this building, and we just need to do it if we're gonna do it, so.
Awesome.
Good job.
Great.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Anybody else have any other questions? No?
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Scanlon, second by Colwell. Any questions or comments? Okay. Yeah, you can come up if you want to.
I heard your description for the micro TIF, but I don't know the difference between the TIF and the micro TIF. Is it just the age, or is it the dollar amount of the increased value that makes it different?
It's the process, and it's also the term. It's shorter than the 15-year period, and then with a regular TIF, they have to take the application to CRA, to Planning Commission, and then back to CRA, and then we take it to Planning Commission. And with the micro TIF, it takes that process kind of out of it. We get the application, we review it, our city attorneys review it, and then we take it to Planning Commission, so they don't have to jump through as many hoops, so to speak, and then it's usually for a shorter time period.
Shorter time
than a
period.
regular TIF.
And that's because it's an already established building versus a new virgin land that's gonna be built on?
No,
Not
No.
it's because it meets all those statutory requirements that she read. A
Okay.
building that's been in town for 60 years, it's a single project. It's gonna be less than 1.5 million at the end of the day.
Right.
So if it meets all those, it's considered a micro TIF.
Right. Oh, okay, you said for a building, so that's what I'm saying, so an already established building, but even if it wasn't,
Has to be in there for 60 years
it's for 60 years.
and in a blighted and substandard area.
Right, yes. Okay, that was it, thank you.
All right, call the roll, please.
Vidlac,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
McCarrigan,
Yes,
Scanlon.
Yes.
good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck.
11, petitions, communications, and public input. A, council to discuss and consider action on 10 special designated liquor licenses for B&R Entertainment LLC, DBA Heights Tavern to serve distilled spirits at the Bands on Broadway Summer Series, 6/6, 6/13, 6/20, 6/27, 7/11, 7/18, 7/24, 8/1, 8/8, 8/15, from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. at the 18th Street Plaza.
Better get started, Ben.
Okay, hi guys, how are you doing? Essentially we want to take our trailer that we've used for other various events and serve mixed drinks and burgers, I believe, too. Kind of like the Heights burgers that we serve at our bar. It wouldn't be beer, it'd be just spirits, so.
Okay, and you guys all have wristbands and everything for
Yep.
them? Okay,
Did you guys do this last year, or was this your, is this
Nope,
your first?
this will be our first time attending.
okay. All
But
right,
you've done other events?
We've done other events, yeah.
that's what I
We've done family reunions, and we were supposed to do the Cinco de Mayo, but that got rained out last year, so yeah, I think it'll be a good kickstart to get it going a little bit more.
Any questions? Kevin, the security's provided by officers, right?
They're actually gonna change directions, and they're gonna hire security
Are they?
to
Okay,
specifically watch the event and man the gates, so.
okay,
And we've discussed that and think that that's a pretty reasonable
okay,
compromise.
all right.
And we'll still have on-duty officers that can monitor the events.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? No? All right, do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Vidlac. Any questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
McCarrigan,
Yes,
Scanlon,
Yes.
Caldwell,
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
thank you. Bids and awards. A, council to discuss and consider action on awarding the contract for the preparation and complete rewrite of the city's comprehensive plan to Marvin Planning Consultants for $136,700.
All right, Mayor and Council, as you might recall, we advertised for the comprehensive plan rewrite starting in January. That window closed in early April. We had 2 applications, Marvin Planning Consultants and AVI. After reviewing both RFPs and conducting interviews with both firms, staff is recommending to go forward with Marvin Planning Consultants, just based on compliance with the RFP guidelines, past experience with comprehensive plans. So, and if this is approved, we're looking to get started right in June, mid-June, late June, and it'd be a 12 to 18 month process.
Okay,
Can you summarize what the primary benefits you see in this comprehensive plan rewrite would be?
So our current one is nearing 10 years old, which is kind of the standard age to replace them, and it's fairly brief. This one would be much more comprehensive than our current one, with dedicated chapters to each section. Just a different setup where we can hopefully just update it easier in future too,
okay,
and just for future guidance of the city.
Yeah, so if there's a section that we feel needs updated, we can grab that section out, update that section.
not have to pay for a whole new
Right.
one.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay,
We only received 2 bids, I see. Is this cost pretty typical for this type of a plan? It's
Yeah, It is. Yeah. It actually
gonna
came in a
ask
little
what-
lower than I thought it was
I was
going
gonna
to,
ask what the
based on
last,
other plans.
do you know what we paid in 2016?
2016, that was, it was an in-house
Oh, okay.
project, so, I don't know what the expenses were on that one. I don't know if there were.
No, we,
Sure.
I think PAD helped with that, and then Annie Folk, who was working for the city at the time, did that. So, and they did a good job, but this is gonna be quite a bit different than that.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that I expect to find out are what are the recreational needs of the community and what the community wants to see going forward. So we might be surprised at some of the support we gain for different projects.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that they talked about too was implementation, and I think we're all pretty determined to make sure that this is a viable, relevant guide for the city and that we do implement it.
Did we implement any portion of the 2016 one?
Some, we use it just like tonight when we're considering TIF and stuff like that, so you could say we do, yeah. You know, the housing study that was in there kind of missed the mark a little bit.
The downtown plaza was in there. So, we completed that, so.
That's good. I think it's good because it looks at the future and what we could bring here, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that, them coming in and spending all that time with the community members and the citizens, doing all the interviews and all that time, that city staff, sometimes they'll be honest with visitors more than they will their actual staff. So I think that there's a benefit of
And we know that this is gonna create a lot of workforce. We're gonna be busy at times, so we're prepared for that. I think in July, me and Sheree talked about it today, that there's a week we're just not gonna schedule anything else because they're gonna be here in the community.
And are we using some of our COVID funds for this to pay for it?
This will be paid for by ARPA funds.
Yeah, so we're using ARPA money that we have to spend by a certain date or set aside.
And, you know, with the ARPA funds, this is a great opportunity to get this done.
It looks good. I mean, I think it looks like, like Jordan said, I like the meetings, the town halls and the focus groups and, you know, meeting with young people and, I mean, I think it looks good.
Now, we do have the Safe Streets for All grant too. And so there's gonna be a little bit of an overlap in the work that's being done. And Marvin even did a little research and found out we have that grant and mentioned it in their proposal. So we were glad to see that.
They also have experience with other cities of our size in Nebraska. They've worked on Grand Island, North Platte, and they're currently in Hastings. So they're working with other communities that are somewhat similar to us. They have a lot of experience. We're excited to hear some ideas and things that they'll pull from those grants as well, just to reference.
Yeah, because they've made a lot of changes in those cities, Grand Island and North Platte, a lot of new, so that's good. All right, any other questions or comments? Oh, we got a question. Okay, you can sit there and ask him.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear all of what your question was.
Sorry about that.
You said something about a grant covering for what?
We have a Safe Streets for All grant too. We're in the process of creating a plan for that. So there will be some overlap in the work that's done. And I would anticipate some of the town hall meetings could be done jointly or the information shared for both projects. So.
Kevin, share with them about the ARPA.
ARPA funds, I think
Oh,
she's
the ARPA
asking.
funds? Yeah, this comprehensive plan will be paid for with our ARPA funds.
Part of that, or that might tie into that part of it, is I tried looking at this on my phone and it's tiny and you can't zoom in. It really sucks. It seems like this is, for lack of a better way of me saying it, is this just more on the outward appearance of the city of Scottsbluff? Like you're talking about recreational, like you talked about the past one for the 18th Street Plaza, but what about the inner, what about the water system, the city water, that kind of, the structure, updating the system itself.
That will be a section in the plan. There will be several sections in that plan. Public safety will be one, but it'll be a very thorough overview. And it's really designed to help guide us into the future and determine our future land use, which is what we use tonight as part of the TIF agreements. So, and this is required by legislature too. We have to have one. So.
Wonderful. I highlight a little bit more on the water system, only because I have my own rabbit trail that I've gone, and I've had curiosities about some of the water report that I've looked at. I looked at it when I first got here, and then I looked at it again here within these last few months. I have formed my own curiosity, so I wondered if that would be part of that. I have questions I would love to be able to ask whoever goes for the city water, some of those things on that report, levels of things, and I'd love to hear more about that. And especially if this is part of that, to be able to see if there's anything that has when the last time the system itself was updated. Again, but those are questions I delved into, but that's what I want to know, if this would be part of also that information.
But if you want to come in and talk water sometime, we have experts that can answer all of your questions.
And then would that be here at this office or at the?
You can facilitate it here at this office. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, you want to call the roll, please? Did we do a motion? Oh. Did we call for?
I move to approve.
Okay. Do you have a second? I'll second. Okay, motion by Colwell, second by Scanlon. Do you have any other questions or comments? Now you can call the roll.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Vidlac.
Yes.
Scanlon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes. All right. 13, council reports informational only. This item is intended for council members to update and inform other council members of meetings attended since the last city council meeting. Do you have any updates? No? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion by Scanlon, second by Vidlac. Call the roll, please.
Vidlac.
Yes.
Scanlon.
Yes.
McCarrigan.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
We're adjourned.